I don't remember my father's mother, Nettie. I was barely a year old when she passed away. But my family always talked about what a great cook she was. According to my parents, Grandma Nettie made all sorts of wonderful things. Chocolate cream pie, homemade wine, and a type of Jewish biscotti called Mandel bread. Now, Grandma Nettie didn't invent Mandel bread, but her version of it was exceptional. This story is about Nettie's legacy and how her daughter, my Aunt Erma, carried on a family tradition.
This friend invited my mother and me over her house for dinner. And my mother took the mandel bread, recipe around the bread, and a bottle of homemade wine. All the grapes that would fall off, loose grapes in the bottom of the box, well, she didn't want to waste them, so she made wine. She make wine and make all kinds of cakes and buns and different kinds of pies. My girlfriend kept saying she liked the mandel bread so much, bring her the recipe. So finally, I got my mother to write it.
Nettie loved the grandchildren. She didn't drive, so she would ride the bus that picked up just at the end of her street in Tacoma Park. And once a month, Nettie would take the bus into downtown Washington, D.C., where a local department store would have their monthly clothing sale. One afternoon, as Nettie crossed in front of the bus to return home, she was struck by a car and killed. Tragically, she'd been out that morning buying clothes for the grandchildren. The year was 1965.
So after my mother passed away, I couldn't find the recipe. It wasn't written down anyplace. She had a bottom drawer of the china cabinet, only had recipe books and things. She had an old notebook where she'd write down ingredients and the name of something, but it wouldn't always be some of them would have amounts and well, something, the way she'd write it down would be eggs, sugar, flour. I wouldn't even tell you how to put it together, but the mandel bread was nowhere to be found. I couldn't find it any place. So I had to ask my friend to give me the recipe. That's how we got it back.
Erma's friend confirmed that she indeed still had a copy of what would be the only surviving complete recipe from Nettie, her recipe for mandel bread. So Aunt Erma carried on the tradition, baking mandel bread for family get-togethers. Erma noticed when she served the mandel bread to her friends, they would always break the cookie in half to a more manageable size. So Aunt Erma added her mark to the recipe. She started to bake the mandel bread half as big. This was the mandel bread I grew up with at the dessert table of every family occasion. I moved away from home, first to Texas and then to California. A few times a year, Aunt Erma would send me a cookie tin full of mandel bread to share with my friends wherever I was. Receiving a tin of Aunt Erma's mandel bread always reminded me of family and home.